Kill la Kill the Game If, based on the popular 2013 anime series Kill la Kill, takes the expressive characters, crazy story, and weaponized clothing to new heights in the series first. Is this game well stitched, or does it fall apart thread by thread? Let's go and find out. Starting up the game, you are forced to play through the story mode as every other game mode is locked. Fans of the original Kill la Kill anime will be pleased with how faithful the game looks to the source material, the only caveat being the noticeable underwear the characters wear after their clothes have been destroyed through Senni's soul sheets, in contrast to their characters' lack of clothing in the Versus mode. Without giving away any details, Satsuki and Ryuko's stories are both 10 chapters long and should take about 1.5 to 2 hours apiece, for a total of 3 to 4 hours. The story takes an interesting spin on the original Kill la Kill anime, proposing a what-if scenario that may leave some confused at first, but once fully experienced, ties every thread together in a tight knot. The difficulty of the story mode can be altered, but even 3-star difficulty is reasonable enough to handle for those who are familiar with the mechanics. One aspect of the story mode I definitely want to commend is the integration of the other game modes. By the conclusion of the story, you'll have played through all the various game modes which this game has to offer, letting you feel out which mode is best suited to your liking. Shifting our focus to the Versus mode, the mode most people will be going to after purchasing the game, it offers 3 different options to the player: Free Battle, Player Match, and Ranked Match. Free Battle gives you the option to either face off against a computer player or a second player via the second controller. The options before battle are pretty standard, such as handicap and time limit. Stage selection is given even greater importance than it is in most anime fighting games, as the size of the stage, which is listed under the stage, can help or hinder depending on the character you have chosen and the corresponding character matchup. Player Match offers similar options to 1v2 from the Free Battle mode. You can search for a room, or you can create your own room, and in these rooms you have a lot of different features that you can adjust, such as privacy of it, password, the type of room, whether it's casual or not, the amount of skills that the player has, the connectivity that the player has, and share functionality of the matches, stages, time limit, etc. Nice additional features in the Player Match includes options to adjust handicap, time limit, and voice lines to communicate with the other player what you desire the game mode to entail. This is really nice feature for those who don't use headsets and want to communicate with the other player, especially on Switch where there is no voice communication option for the console. Ranked battles take you in a competitive direction, featuring online leaderboards showcasing where the top players are ranked. A few games that I played with people across the globe, it was relatively stable. It did stutter a bit, but there was never any actual lag. I don't know how it will function once the game is fully released, but it is relatively stable. The next mode down the line is Practice Mode, which features tutorial, training, survival, and covers challenges. The tutorial mode is a battle taken directly from the first chapter of Satsuki's story mode, with voice direction by Iori, teaching you the controls. The tutorial only trains you with Satsuki, so the only way to practice with the other characters is in the training mode. This does give you the fundamentals of the game in general, so it is helpful if you have never played this game before. Training mode allows you to control the settings for many specific scenarios, including Gamagori and Inumuta's gauges. The amount of customization is welcome, giving the players whatever options they may need to improve and perfect their craft with a specific character. Survival mode pits you against a chain of computer players. With each victory, your stats and the opponent's stats will fluctuate, along with a percentage of recovered health. If skilled at the game, the player shouldn't have too much difficulty against the computer. Covers Challenge is a hack and slash mode which offers 3 different sub-game modes: 1-minute extermination, 100-unit extermination, and endless extermination. 1-minute extermination pits you against an indefinite amount of covers. Your goal is to take down as many as possible within the time limit. There are items dropped from defeated covers which help enhance the fight, such as time extensions, SP gauge auto refills, and increased attack damage. 100 unit extermination is similar to 1 minute extermination, except features only 100 covers and has the player race against the clock to defeat the 100 covers in a short amount of time as possible. Endless extermination features no time limit or limit to the number of covers, truly endless. Your goal is to continue taking down covers until you are defeated. The covers challenges give a greater variety of gameplay that most anime fighting games lack. One core mechanic that appears to be missing from the covers challenges is the option to lock onto a specific enemy. It gets incredibly frustrating when you have an enemy you solely wish to target, but as you go to attack, your camera turns 180 degrees and targets a cover standing behind you instead. A lock-on feature would greatly improve this close to polished extra game mode. The final section in the game's main menu is the gallery mode, which features a glossary, replay list, anime, digital figure, sound test, and voice library. The glossary has information about side characters, clothes, and terms specifically used in the world of Kill la Kill, just in case there are those who aren't familiar with the source material. Replay list holds all the replays you have saved from recorded battles, whether they are online or offline. You can use this to go back and witness a satisfying win or watch just how the opponent pulled off a specific string of combos. The replay feature also allows you to remove the HUD and change the camera angle of the fight to get a different and more unique perspective of the battle. Anime might be a confusing title for a sub-menu, but it features all the cutscenes from the story mode. These are all unlocked as you progress through the story and can be viewed as one long episode once you've unlocked them all. Digital Figure lets you create your own diorama with the in-game characters and scenery. With many different purchasable poses and expressions with the in-game GP currency, it gives you a lot of variety. You can also use GP to purchase sound files in the sound test and voice library menus, giving you a variety of music and voice lines to listen to. You can play as a total of 8 different characters in the base game, with dual-wield versions of Satsuki and Ryuko also available as alternates on the same slot to the original Satsuki and Ryuko. A+ Games seems to have taken the critique of anime fighting games, where every character plays the same, and takes the gameplay into a completely opposite direction. Every character has their own unique playstyle, but to a point where each character essentially has to rely on their gimmick. Some characters are definitely more suited for battle than others, but one thing is for certain, once you have picked a character, you most likely won't ever want to touch another character. The game will be receiving an additional 2 free characters this summer, with Mako and Double DTR. One main criticism I may disagree with others on is the small character roster. I don't believe the size of the roster is a detriment to the game. The real detriment is the lack of uniformity between each character. They are all so severely different from one another that it almost doesn't feel like as if they are part of the same game. This offers a lot of unique battle scenarios, but I feel ultimately limits the choices the player gets to make while playing the game. The game's mechanics are relatively simple. On PS4, close range attacks are triggered with square, triangle for long ranged attacks, circle for guard break, and cross to jump. Other button functions include guarding with R1, using special moves while holding down L1 and one of the shape keys, and Bloody Valor with a simultaneous L1 and R1 activation. To initiate Bloody Valor, you must have at least half of your SP gauge full, and then proceed to be close enough to the opponent to land the shockwave. If it lands, both players will initiate in a verbal game of rock, paper, scissors, instead labeled Mock Taunt Provoke. The initiator has the advantage as 2 of the 3 potential outcomes can lead to an increase of how many stars the initiator currently has. If the initiator wins the game of Mock Taunt Provoke, they will gain 1 star and initiate a second game of Mock Taunt Provoke. If the initiator ties with the opponent, the initiator gains a star, but the sequence ends. If the opponent wins the game, the initiator takes damage and does not receive a star. This may seem to give the opponent a disadvantage, but there are a few ways to counter. The opponent can immediately counter the Bloody Valor activation by initiating their own Bloody Valor after the initiator has triggered their Shockwave. Additionally, if the initiator has triggered Mock Taunt Provoke, the opponent can listen to the quote made by the initiator's character to quickly ascertain whether they are mocking, taunting, or provoking the opposing character. Once the initiator has reached 3 stars, they enter Valor Overpowered. When in this mode, your SP gauge automatically fills, you receive all the buffs listed while succeeding in Mock Taunt Provoke, and you can trigger your Seni Soul Sheets move, a one-hit kill move which costs all of your SP gauge. Although deadly, they are blockable and easy enough to avoid if you are paying attention. Skilled players will combo into their Seni Soul Sheets. This game, unlike most anime fighting games nowadays, does offer English and Japanese voices, so whichever your preference is, you are covered. The gameplay is fresh and unique for an anime fighting game, so much so that the hard shift may take some people who are used to traditional anime fighting games through a loop. The small roster of characters does not hinder the grand sight this game sets, to rekindle the Kill la Kill fanbase and reimagine the story in a new light. With plenty of modes and collectibles to entertain those who don't play online, and with an interactive online lobby system, I can see fans of the anime series and of anime games coming back to play this game post-launch. A fun and entertaining game with a few non-game-breaking flaws which may not be able to be fixed or changed with patches, I believe this game holds its own among other anime fighting games and succeeds in breaking out of the formula most anime games end up molding into. I give Kill la Kill the Game If an 8 out of 10. If you want to see other Kill la Kill the Game If coverage on this channel, make sure to subscribe, and if you found this review informative, please leave a like, it'd be greatly appreciated. In the coming week, I will be doing an unboxing of the collector's edition of Kill la Kill the Game If. If you want to see that, make sure to subscribe and check it out. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next video or live stream. Bye!